This is an attempt by an administration that's pretty hostile to gun owners generally and hostile to the rights of under the Second Amendment for people in this country to yet again find a way to restrict that right.
So there's another issue that a lot of people have talked about on our Facebook page, and that is there are warehouses full of M-1 Garand rifles that belong to the South Koreans. They're in South Korea. The South Korean government would like to sell them to collectors and gun clubs and other people in the United States. Initially, the administration had approved that import into the U.S., and then that permission was pulled, but there wasn't a clear reason given. Are you familiar with the issue? Have you been involved in it?
Not in the thick of it, but we've been, at least I'm peripherally aware of it, and we were involved with a letter writing campaign to the administration asking them to reverse that policy. You know, collectors obviously would have a great interest in some of these weapons, and it certainly makes sense to me to allow them to be able to acquire those. The administration saw it differently, but we're hoping that with the, you know, that that will prevail and they'll come back and reverse their position on this. But it seems to me, at least, again, that this is an attempt by an administration that's pretty hostile to gun owners generally and hostile to the rights of under the Second Amendment for people in this country to yet again find a way to restrict that right. So this is a battle for freedom. It's fought on a lot of fronts,
yes,
and it's not going to go away. And we need to make sure that freedom-loving Americans, people who are constitutionalists in this country, people who believe in the Second Amendment, in the right to possess firearms, that right is protected. And that's I view that as my job and the job of a lot of us here in Congress who represent constituencies who care deeply about freedom and about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights.